It's about half a mile north of here.
Half a
That-
mile north. And we're
yeah.
going to see the ones.
Well, these will be the petroglyphs on Big Indian Rock.
So what is a petroglyph? A petroglyph is an image that is carved into the surface of a rock. The native people didn't have metal tools, so they used a stone hammer and a stone chisel to carve these. Native people see all of Earth as sacred, but within that sacred Earth are places that have special meaning, and this is one of them. This part of the river has the steepest flow. The water moves fast. It's surrounded by high hills. It has a landscape that is unlike any other part of the river. The river now is about 6 to 10 foot higher than it was before Holtwood Dam was built. When these carvings were produced, this was an area of fast-moving water. It was rapids. It was always difficult to get out here. It's still difficult. You see only a fraction of the rocks that are just inches or a foot under the surface. The people who carved these were probably Algonquian people, and we know from that culture that their rock art sites were often placed in positions where the sky, the earth, and water all combined. This is a great image carved into the vertical part of the rock. You can see it from a boat or a kayak when the sun's just right. The sun's just right today, and it shows the image of a person holding a bow. Further across the rock is the image of an animal that he may be hunting. One of the best images on Little Indian Rock, and it gives us a sense of when these carvings were made, because the bow and arrow would have appeared here 1,000, maybe 1,500 years ago. So we know the general time frame for when these were carved on the rocks. The petroglyphs were first seen by Europeans in the mid-1800s. They thought of them as prehistoric graffiti. But to native people, these are images that would only be carved for a special occasion. They wouldn't want to desecrate their Mother Earth. These petroglyphs are carved on a very hard rock. Some people call it granitic mica schist. It's a rock that this particular rock is infused with quartz, and it makes it very resistant to erosion. So one of the things that you can do at this site to make them show up better is to use a dampened sponge and just gently wipe over the carving. They appear almost like magic. This is a four-legged animal, and they're very common on this part of Big Indian Rock. I really like this carving because you can connect to it. This is a human footprint, and you know that the person who carved this 800 or 1,000 years ago had his foot right here too. It's something that you can't do when you go to see artifacts in a museum behind glass. Here you see the artifacts in the setting that they were actually created. This image is a human figure, and it's one of the images that tells us that these are more than just representational images. This human figure appears to be walking to the south, and he has two dots carved beside him. Dots archaeologists refer to as cupules, and these are associated directly with this human figure. The Chesapeake Bay is 2 days walking journey from where we're standing. These two dots might represent that it took 2 days to walk from here to the mouth of the river. On this part of the rock, there's a very unique and special image. The only one like it among all of the sites at Safe Harbor. This is a circle, and inscribed within the circle are several different kinds of tracks. Here's a bird track. This is an infant-sized footprint. Here's a deer track. This is a squiggly line that looks like a track that a snake would make. These are images of beings who can travel on the surface of the earth. The native people believed that everything had some kind of a spirit connected with it. The tree spirits. They called the rocks the grandfathers. The grandfathers told the stories of the ages. You have the star people, Father, Sun, Grandmother, Moon, Mother, Earth. Everything had a spirit within it. But these images are the beings that can actually travel the surface of the earth. The two-leggeds, the winged people, the four-leggeds, and the creepy crawly people. There are stories that one time there were eastern woodland buffalo, and these tracks are about the size of a track that the buffalo would make. Here's a group of bird tracks that come up one of the ridges of the rock. These might indicate the direction of something on land. Maybe the turkey clan lived in that direction from here. Maybe it was a good place to hunt birds in that direction. This is one of the really amazing carvings on Little Indian Rock. It's a thunderbird, a huge thunderbird, almost 3 feet high. This would have taken more than a day to carve. These weren't just images that idle natives carved while the fish weren't biting. This is one of the serpents that is used as a marker of time on Little Indian Rock, and it's a serpent. If I were to stand here on the first day of summer at the tail of this serpent, I would be pointing to the exact spot where the sun sets. On the first day of winter, the serpent would be emerging in line with the place on the shore where the sun rises. There's a pair of serpents here. These serpents are over 9 feet long. It would be an incredible expenditure of time and energy to carve these. To carve just one little dot takes 20 or 30 minutes. This would have taken a day or days to carve these serpents. The amazing thing about them is that they align to the spot on the horizon that the sun rises on the first day of spring and the first day of fall. When I first observed this, it really made my hair stand on end, because I'd been in Chichen Itza on the Yucatan Peninsula. They have the same circumstance happening there, where a pyramid shows the shadow of a serpent coming down a stairway ending in a giant serpent's head. This happens on the first day of spring, and it's amazing to think that the same event is being recorded in 2 different places so far away in exactly the same manner. Here's an image that was carved by Company B, Albany, New York, August 14th, 1917. And it partially covers a beautiful image of a bear track. It's a shame to see something that's hundreds or maybe 1,000-year-old just recklessly destroyed. It's so important to take care of places like this. On this rock, there's 3 different carvings that were made on August 14th, 1917. All of this damage done in just one day. And so part of our effort to tell people about these rocks, in addition to telling about them, we have signs that talk about the ethics of visiting these places, how you should walk gently, not use chalk or any substance to make them show up better. We also have people who serve as caretakers of the rocks, who monitor activity on them. We feel that the more people that come out here now and visit the rocks in a respectful way, the safer that they will be in the future.